This project started with a team discussion about our New Year's sermon series. The goal? To lay out foundational Christian principles, what believers do, how we live, and why it matters. Since Boston is a transient city with a steady influx of new people, the pastors wanted to create something that would clearly communicate the core identity of a Christ follower. The video begins with an ideation document, so I'm going to go ahead and start this video so you can get an idea of what that might look like. This served as a foundation for the graphic that I created. It helped guide the overall direction and ensure that the visual design aligned with the sermon themes. So this graphic is a compilation style design. It's made up of 3 key elements. I got a stock photo, which I heavily edited in Photoshop. It has custom pseudo code inspired by real HTML and CSS that I also wrote. And then finally the fonts, the text. I started by pulling a stock photo into Photoshop and removing the background. I removed the existing icons and created new icons that would match our sermon series main points. So the sermon series was divided into 3 categories or themes. 1, a crown for worship, hands for serving, and seedlings for growth. Next, I wrote this custom pseudo code, the kingdom code, using HTML for structure and CSS for styling. And you can see that on the screen there. It even works a little bit. To integrate that into the graphic, I screenshotted the code, adjusted the perspective, and did some fading, some smoothing to integrate these screenshots into the background. The subtle effects give it that future sci-fi feel and tying in the idea of structure and order in God's kingdom. The final step was choosing, let's talk about this. This is creating the icons. And this is, again, one of those smaller little details that go into making a graphic of this scale and with this much detail. The final step was choosing the typography. I intentionally kept the title in lowercase to maintain that coding aesthetic and reinforcing a tech-inspired theme. And with that, this graphic came together. This was a more in-depth graphic, but it wasn't an illustration. So this type of graphic could take anywhere from 3 to 5 hours after that ideation stage and getting the green light on the direction that we're going. A little bit about myself. I've been working with Adobe design tools for over 12 years. I love how design and coding intersect. I primarily do graphic design work, but I do enjoy coding, especially when it's geared towards web design and web development. This project was a really fun project to do. It was a great blend of precision and technical creativity. It brought things together in a visual storytelling and digital aesthetics that I really liked. I do love projects like this that challenge me to think in new ways and new creative boundaries as well. Thanks for taking a look at this behind the series of the Kingdom Code. I hope this gives you a deeper appreciation for the thought and detail that went into this design. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out the sermon series on our website because the message behind the design is truly what matters.